Listen, the first time we did this, oh mate.
I can imagine so many outtakes.
Oh mate. Alright, welcome to this week's Edge of the Box. It's actually the last one of the season. But today we have special guests. I'm Rapheal and
James Briggs.
And today we have
Paul Pittuck.
Pittuck. And we have Hullbridge manager
Darren Manning.
How you doing, chaps? Alright?
So today what we have three topics. We have a discussion with the managers, two big games this season, and we also have
goal of the season's all got 15 great goals.
Let's get into this one. It's gonna be a juicy one. So we're here with top two managers in Essex Senior. So much was said, so much was done. Two great teams in their own styles and ways. So many goals, so many clean sheets.
So many bans.
But the two most organised and most effective teams. So we'll start with second place. Pitts, talk us through your season.
We had, at the start pre-season, when we was getting the group together, we didn't put pressure on the squad that we was going to bring in. The expectations weren't discussed. We had our end of season do yesterday, and we were saying the same. When players were coming over, we weren't saying to them, this is where we want to be.
Yeah, I think it's important for everyone to know that. Stansted finish. Where did you finish last season? 17th.
So from our point of view, you try to have it as low key as possible and kind of be the dark horses. But we was really only saying top half. That was realistically. Can we be top 10? Can we be top 8? And can we be competitive? And I used to say it as a laugh. I just want to win more than I lose. And that's where we wanted to be.
So what things do you think changed from last season to this one?
The first season, it's only my second season. So the first season for me was a big learning curve. I probably underestimated the league in terms of standard, in terms of commitment, everything what's required at step 5. So it's a long season for me, and it hurts. Darren would be saying, you go home on a Saturday night, it ruins your weekend. It even affects how you feel on a Monday for work. If you've got 3 points on a Saturday,
it affects you to the next game.
You're going into work Monday with a spring in your step. So it was a long season, but we gradually turned the corner after Christmas of my first season. And once we get to the summer, can we retain sort of 4 or 5 from that season? And then it was kind of mates that started coming over.
Recruitment.
And slowly but surely through pre-season, you started to see, this could be,
So be
competitive. But you don't know.
So you didn't really believe.
And funny, we went down and played a team called Fisher in South London and got thumped 6-0 a couple of weeks before the season started. You're thinking, oh no, it wasn't. It was an absolute disaster. Everyone got stuck in traffic. It was baking on. Everyone was mad. Did you?
I didn't play that. I was playing for Barking.
Oh yeah.
A week after you lot played them, there's they beat Stansted 6-0. I was thinking it's going to be literally a hard game. We ended up beating them 4-0. It was like, we'll take that.
So you can't be too sure in pre-season, but we played these guys early in a tight game and lost 2-1. We played Takeley early, lost 2-0, but played well. So there were signs there. I thought, Hullbridge are on social media and saying that they want to give it a go. Takeley we knew would be up there. So I'm thinking to myself, if these could be 2 of the top teams, and we were still, we didn't sign Callum till 2nd or 3rd game into the season. So I thought, no, if these 2 teams, and we've run them close, we might. But we still didn't expect. There was still no talk about what we could do. So, but we just went on a mad run, and we lost 4 out of the first 6, including the cup competitions. But then from mid-September, we went on I think we won 8 league games on the bounce, which was a club record. And just you start winning, it becomes addictive. Everyone was getting, was playing well, and was, training sessions were good and lively and fun, and all of a sudden you're winning games of football.
So when did it come you start to believe that you was actually going to be higher than you expected?
When we signed you, and we knew. We finally got him away from Barking. So
the magical breed.
We got him. You come over and saw it, as did you, Raph. When you're training and you've got 18, 20 blokes on a Thursday night, but you play Tuesday, and everyone's still there and they're there on time. Look, they're waiting for me. They're on the pitch, and I'm the one who's running late and running behind schedule. So, as I said, winning it just becomes infectious, and you go on a run like we did. Then all of a sudden,
So I think there was a few key signings. Who would you say your three? I won't say best, but key signings were, and why were they?
Well, we was chatting earlier about our end of season do was yesterday, and rightly so. Our keeper Charlie Turner, he's got the most clean sheets.
Yeah, excellent.
Phenomenal keeper.
Best
and he got voted, player of the season, didn't he, for his 16 league? So he's had a great season with us.
Yeah, excellent.
I think defensively we've been superb. Got Billy at left back. Paul Clayton's played centre half or centre midfield. You played with him. He's a warrior.
I think Joe Clark was underrated.
Joe's been superb, and again a player that can play left back, centre half. He had a bad injury, and I was speaking to Joe yesterday. He played against Scarborough in the cup on an injury to get us through because we had players missing. But then put him back. So he took one for the team. He was out for three months or something because. So a lot of.
I think you can't miss out your main goal threat.
Yeah,
Callum.
And obviously going into the final third, Callum scored 28 goals, and he's played out wide, right, left, and down the centre. I
think even us lot playing with him, I felt like with him he came into his own element at a point where it was almost he believed he was going to score before the game even sort of started. You can see it in him. Yeah. He had the confidence.
Even when you're playing against Callum, he's got that bit of arrogance about him. And I'm close with Callum. He knows how good he is, and he knows if he gets a chance, he's going to score. Like we were saying in your cup final last one, said he'll get a chance late and he'll score, and you'll win 1-0. Yeah. But we on the sideline, we knew it was going to happen. So having someone like his team.
But we got with Callum, we got him enjoying his football again.
I think that's the most important.
And we got the work rate out of him, which maybe other managers didn't get that. So as an all-round player, he's enjoying his football. Got the work rate, and you got goals. So you got a great player on your hands. So.
Do you think? Last question for you. Do you think not having a main striker all season sort of dented the reason why you maybe didn't get first? Like you got Callum scoring goals, players chipping in goals everywhere. Do you think if you had a main pivotal striker all season, a proper out-and-out striker?
We was going for all three, 2 cups in the league. So from Darren's point of view, they had the league to concentrate. They rotated quite heavily on cups because they'd identified that they wanted to win the league. Whereas we had literally the discussions were, can we do the treble?
That also helped as well because they had other players giving them game time as well. So when they're coming in, if they have to play a league game, they're already fit because they've already played a cup game and they've won as well.
And we rotated still in the 2 cups, but not as much. You would have probably said, well, if there was 5 players sub on a Saturday, those 5 players will be starting in the League Cup or the Bracelet Cup or whatever. But I wouldn't put it down to not having a. We scored. I can't remember what we scored, but
more than us, I think.
We scored a lot of goals. I think 3rd highest behind. Was it Saffron, Walden and
Saffron got like 80 or 90 goals.
Saffron, Walden were top, weren't they?
Yeah, I think you were 2nd or 3rd.
Second, I think Walthamstow might have picked us, and then we were 3rd.
You scored more than us, I know that.
So we wouldn't look at that, Raph, and say we didn't have we had a lot of good options and a lot of people contributed with goals. So we can't really have too many regrets.
Now to the big boys, the promotions.
The big boys.
The big Hullbridge. For me, before you start, Hullbridge has always been a club that's always sort of in and around the area of being a good club. It's always been a good club. So how do you find your season went?
At the start of the season, I'm very ambitious. So when I went in and they were rock bottom, I thought I've got my work cut out here to get them where they want to be. But the club showed ambition to be where we are now, which is the main reason I went there in the first place. And then when we managed to get safe, I think we finished 14th, 15th last year. We then said now we've got a nice core, and then we built on that to go into the season. And then when I done an interview with the local paper saying that I want a top 5 finish. Afterwards, I'm thinking, God, that's a bit ambitious. Now, chill out. You're getting yourself there to be shot at.
16th?
Yeah, 16th. No, 15th. I think 14th, 15th. I'm thinking to say a top 5 finish, and then with some of the big clubs, and obviously where some big clubs are coming into the league as well. We but we had just a good feeling around the club from pre-season. We played a lot of Bostic sides and beat them. I think we lost once in pre-season. That was the Hornchurch, and then the momentum just rolled into the season, and we was unbeaten in the first 10 games. And it was a week where we played Takeley twice in a week, and obviously where Takeley have always been there or thereabouts. That's where me and my sister James went, this is the standard bearer for us. This is because we've never gone there and won. I think Hullbridge have always struggled going to Takeley. And then we beat them twice in a week with two very different teams. And then that's when we thought, hang on a minute, we've got a good side here. And then it's just the side's evolved probably 2 or 3 times during the season with players that have come in and gone out, and we've been very good with our recruitment. We've recruited at the right time, and I always say, as a manager, I know my strengths and weaknesses, so I put in an extremely good backroom staff, and I can't give enough credit to the staff I've got around me, that what they've done on the training pitch and getting us to play how we play, and how well organised we are to have the best defensive record in the league after having the worst last season is just testament to them. And then the recruitment, finding and getting players like Jamal Allen and Nathan Scarborough in pre-season were massive for us. And then during the season, getting lots of Courtney. I don't know why people let Courtney go. But,
you did that.
But the likes of Courtney, who was unbelievable for us since he's come in. And then towards the end of the season, getting the likes of Joe Skills in at Christmas, who went close last year with Basildon. And then right towards the end with George Whitby, who again went close with Basildon, with good experience in the league. And then the extra bit of quality with Tim Monshiju and Matt Baxter and Yemi Adelani coming in, just really.
You're going to name his whole squad.
It's just really, but it's just been a real group effort, because we've not had that
lot of experience.
One player, we've not had that one player that's gone and got 30 or goals. It's been a real group effort. I think about 5 or 6 of them have scored 15 plus this year, which is a real group effort. And there's been a lot of rotation, because you think we've got 6, 7 good strikers that could probably walk into the majority Essex Senior League teams, but we've managed to keep them happy, keep them hungry, keep them on good form. And it's just been a good environment to play your football this year. And it's been things off the pitch as well. So we've not had much resource, but the players have been looked after and doing things like the Marks and Spencer's advert and putting them in stuff in them scenarios just takes them to another level, and they've been brilliant.
I heard you saying you worked on sort of your defensive side of the game. What would you say was the key thing? What was it like? What would you say was the right thing you had to do to make sure that these goals weren't leaking?
When Joe and Roy come in the summer, their first thing said to me was, what do we need to improve on most? And we said, defending. And I was a centre-back. So for me, conceding goals hurts. And so I said to them, we need to work on clean sheets, because the old saying, clean sheets win leagues.
Of course.
So then Joe and Roy just went to work. And the work they've done with that back four has been incredible. We worked solidly on it. We've had lucky enough to have some good players in it as well, so that always helps. With the likes of when you got Jams and Perry Dunn at centre half, along with all the others and stuff. It's a tough prospect to be against, but just the hard work. And like Pitsy was saying, when you're getting 20 or 17 to 20 players every training session, that really helps, because there's some sides that don't manage to get 10, which is hard work. So it's down to the players, that their commitment and their desire to be there week in, week out, in rain, wind, shine, and just to get it done and get on to the next session. So
I watched Hullbridge a few times. I saw that your style of play was very much in behind, sort of soaking up pressure and going in behind. Would you say that was, you identify with that?
The thing is, we like to play, but we're also realistic about when we can play. And we know our strengths, and we've got a lot of pace going forward. So the main style, and I don't want to give away too much for next season, but was keep it, and then spring it behind. If that makes sense. So we was, and that's why we identified the right players to play that way. Because the previous season when I went in, I'm very clear with how I want to play. And when we lost 7-1 to Wakefield, I think in my second game, I think 6 or 7 of the players went that day. Because I was like, well, you clearly can't play how I want to play, so I've got to make changes. We've stuck to it. We've had to tweak it, and I think you're going to show a game in a minute where we did change our system for that one game. But we've stuck to our guns, and we've had the players to play that way.
So I know we were speaking before about promotion. What would you think you have to do now to sort of prepare yourself for the next step?
Just keep the momentum, keep their togetherness, because the boys, their work rate and really put a shift in for each other on that pitch. So I'm not now going to bring in 10 new players and ruin that bond that they've got. We just need to keep the momentum going, keep working hard. And I believe the boys have got enough quality. I believe the squad's got enough quality to compete at that level. And then we're going against some real top sides in that division. And me and Pitts were talking on the way up. Some real good sides in it. So we just need to make Lower Road a fortress. Because it's not the nicest place to come. No. So we need to really lean on that and make it a bit of a fortress, get some early points on the board, settle everyone down and make the players really believe they deserve to play at that level.
We were speaking before in previous shows of the three key components in the actual team to win the league. This question is to both of you. What three key components do you think you definitely need to be, top of Essex Senior?
I think we'll both agree togetherness and that real squad bond, that they're really there for each other on the pitch, off the pitch. I think that's a massive one for me, because if you don't care about your teammates, you're not going to dig in and cover their run or cover their position for them. So I think that's massive for me.
We worked on, for us. I mean, for my benefit as a manager, it's my hobby. So I want to walk into a changing room or walk to into a dressing room training session and enjoy everyone's company and bounce off that. And if you're walking into your home changing room on a Tuesday night or a Saturday afternoon and you're excited to see everybody and you're getting the same back, that for me is that's 1, 2, 3 just all together, because if you get that right, it's so difficult at this level to get proper harmony. A group, and I don't mean four or five might get with each other, or a couple drive and they're from the same area. You're talking a squad of 16 to 20 players that are all in the clubhouse having a beer after. If you haven't got a game or want to go and do something on a Saturday afternoon together,
they'd all go and watch a game together. Or like you said, you always were in Top Golf and stuff.
We was all at Top Golf one Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I think,
and that for me has been our success.
See, the first time I really realised that was last year when we were really struggling when I first come in, and we said, right, we're not training tonight, we're all going bowling. And then we won our next 3 games straight after that, because I think the players see each other in just their normal clothes instead of a tracksuit for the first time. And you start to actually get to know your teammates rather than just, he plays left midfield. You need to know each other on a deeper level, so that comes down to our recruitment as well. You have to get the right people, not the right player, the right person as well as the right player.
So I'm just kind of saying about egos and things like that.
Bad
eggs in the dressing room,
egos stay at the door. And I think that's why we've been so successful.
Even as players, the best teams that you always play against or even you play in is the team that has some sort of togetherness. The teams that are organising together and sort of, everyone's running, everyone's pressing. It feels like you're playing against more than 11.
Yeah, of course.
It feels like they've got an overload somewhere. Why is there so much players pressing you? Why is there no time on the ball? I think that when you have a team like that, and I think it's not just fitness, but it's a team of, like you all say, togetherness and sort of fight to.
And that helps with the commitment as well, because if you're enjoying going to training, you're not going to have that little excuse that you might have had if you didn't enjoy training. So that allows you to work on things and become a better team. Because if you're not enjoying your company when you go to football, you might, I'm working late, I'm not going to make it. When if you are enjoying it, you will make it, you'll be 10 minutes late. Yeah. And that's a big difference.
Not to put both of you on the spot, but if you was to say one key player this season that's been standout for you, who would it be?
That's exactly what you're making us say.
Put you on the spot.
No pressure.
This is the edge of the box.
I think mine talks for itself. He won every award at our end of the season to Jamal Allen. He played centre midfield, he was outstanding, he used to run games for us. And then we dropped him back to centre half, and I think he conceded about 7 goals in about 13 games there. It was something ridiculous. He's an absolute baller, really.
Baller.
He's different class. He's different class in everything he does, and he's too good to be playing that level. So I'm just glad we did get promotion for him. If not, we'd have had to push him up because he was too good.
Tough one, because there's 4 or 5 have been superb for us and won the awards yesterday. It was there was different players winning different awards yesterday, but probably Charlie Turner, our keeper, Essex Senior League have voted him player of the year. He's got players player yesterday, and phenomenal keeper. And good lad as well, good lad off the pitch. I've enjoyed his company.
Yeah, I think
he's down to earth, isn't he? And
he's so cool.
Yeah, he's
Cool,
he's a good lad, and he's
Like, he'll go out your way if he sees you had a bad game. I think he'll come over to you. Like when I was at Stansted, he'll come over to me.
You had a bad game, Bryn?
Yeah, I played about 2 minutes.
But he's also a young lad, Charlie. He's only sort of 22, 23.
Yeah.
He's not old.
But you don't feel like it.
But
I don't think you should have said that now. Someone's going to be...
We got his number.
Someone's going to be tapping her up now.
The game we're going to go into now is Darren's Hullbridge against Sporting Bengal. We enjoyed this game a lot.
Yeah, thrilling game.
A lot of mistakes, a lot of banter in the certain team's defence. We'll go into it now and you can see it for yourself.
Great ball. Good decision. Back him up! Back him up! Open him, legs up! Recover! Now, all here! Oh, that's good! Finish him, man! We keep going, mate! Well done! Well done! We keep going, we keep going! Keep getting across! Look at Chris! Switch it! Switch it! Switch it! Switch it! Switch! Come on, Jay! That's it, go, go. That's it. Ref, what are you watching? Stop right behind him. Look at that. I don't have much time. Get in there! Come on! Oh my fucking days! Yes, sir! Come on! If that ain't a foul, you got to dive in! Open up! Let's put that in, mate, come on! Let's secure it! Good, good! Come on, Ash! Take your time with it! Relax! Get the ball! Hey boys, come on, raise it again! Come on, Alden, now! Too sharper, sharper! Just get behind the ball, back dig, back dig!
I think that there is just a testament of how Hullbridge play. I think that was literally, yeah. So the going wide, and I think we spoke about this last time, going wide and literally.
Because there's no wingers, so the wing backs, the left back, right back, control.
And that's what we did. That's why we changed our shape against Bengal, because we know what Carville does, and we know how good he can be. Yeah. And if you give him time and space, and when you've got people like him, if he's supplying Jay Knight with the right service, you're going to be in bags of trouble. And we identified that early, so we tried to do a job on him. First half we did, second half we didn't, as the game proves, and you'll see in a minute.
Do you find at this level, what would you prefer, someone with talent or someone that works hard?
They've got to have a certain amount of talent,
yeah.
But if their attitude and mentality ain't right, then they're not for me.
But I think just shows the commitment of the Hullbridge team.
Exactly the one before where Sean Coates cleared it off the line, it's just that desire to keep us in the game. To get us in the game.
Has Scarborough got a right foot?
I don't know. I'm still trying to find out. He scored a couple with his right foot, I think, this year.
Really? What do you think his strongest attribute is?
He doesn't lose a header, and he's not the tallest lad in the world, but he doesn't lose many headers, and that's been vital for us at times this year to get us up the pitch, and his hold-up play. But if he gets a chance, he's scoring 1 in 2.
Yeah.
Simple as that, he's scoring 1 in 2.
In training, was it a thing? Because I know with Stansted we used to do it quite a lot. As soon as the ball gets wide, deliver, no matter how in and around that area. Was that the same sort of instructions?
If I'm honest with you, the final third, we didn't really coach much. We was all about the build up to the final third, and then we had the trust in our forwards to get it done, because give them the freedom to go and express themselves in the final third. Because sometimes you have to be a bit off the cuff in the final third. If you're so regimented to say, okay, I've got to go down the line, I've got to cross, it becomes too predictable. Yeah. So don't get me wrong, we encourage them to do certain things, like if Scarbs is playing central, get the ball in the box early. Yeah. But if it's not Scarbs, if it's someone else, then we're not going to do it because it's not their strong point. Mm-hmm. So it's just down to the front three and their take on the situation they're currently in.
Don't you think having a big player, I won't say big, but a key player in moments like this when you're down, there's not much going on, you haven't really got not an idea, but you're looking, what can I change, and a player just steps up and
someone just to put the game by the scruff of the neck and just.
We found a lot through the season, and that's a great case in point. You know, they're 3-2 down and up against it. You got just a nice through ball and a goal scorer who's calm in front of goal. And out of nowhere, it's 3-3.
And now we've got momentum. Yeah. And I knew as soon as he scored them, I knew we'd win.
Did you?
I knew at that point there, because we tweaked.
It was like 2 minutes later as well.
Yeah, and he scored straight after their third, and I was like, okay, we're still in it here, because if it went the other way and we was under the cosh again, we'd have been a write-off. We'd have been game over.
So do you think that was more team spirit, or just having a good class player that's really right time?
I think a bit of both, because it shows that grit and that determination and that togetherness that we spoke about before. Yeah. That they've stuck together, and they've not crumbled when they've been under it, and they've stuck together there, and they've got a good goal. Yeah. And then it comes to the quality that they've got to be able to score a goal like that.
Yeah, quality.
You got players like for us, and they would have been the same. They don't get phased by like 3-2 down or conceding. I looked at my lot, your lot were the same. It's like poker faces, isn't it? There's no pointing fingers or everyone having a meltdown.
So when our keeper got sent off against you, I was looking around to see what people's reactions were. Yeah. And then that's when, because I knew I had to bring one off, so I'm looking around to see who's gone, whose head's gone, and I was like, oh shit, none of them. Yeah. So I was like,
how do you have to keep on the bench, by the way?
We always did get into the final games.
I was looking around.
I went to watch Takeley v St Margaret's, and the St Margaret's goalkeeper come off injured, and they were winning 2-0. I think it was 2-0 or 2-1, and they ended up losing the game. And I was there with my goalkeeper coach, and I said, I can't afford for that to happen. I can't afford to have something like that. Something like that ruin our chances. So we was lucky enough to have 2 very good goalkeepers. So we could carry on.
Especially two good goalkeepers.
Exactly, it's hard.
When I was there, I was watching, I was thinking, so who's going to go and go then? I see the keeper already kit. I was like,
early as well.
We was like, yeah.
He's got another one.
Just roll them out.
I was standing next to Glenn, and he was like, yes. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Maybe not.
So second game, Stansted versus Saffron Walden. Big game. Big game.
2 weeks before Christmas, so you got,
Yeah.
I think we was top at this stage.
Was this when it was really windy?
Yeah.
We didn't have a game.
It was the windy, rainy day.
Yeah, we
and
didn't
it was
have a
freezing
game
as well.
Yeah, we didn't have a game, so I remember us sort of catching it on Twitter and stuff like that, seeing what was going on.
Again.
And this is how Stansted FC line up.
that's what I mean. Moments like that, you can't.
That's just exactly the same as the as Nathan Scarborough, the through ball and
the calm
composure.
finish. You need these sort of players in these games. I think in this game, did you have I playing up top?
Well, we changed it. It's quite interesting actually, because the week before we drew 2-2 at home to Barkingside. No, we didn't. Sorry, 2-2 at home to Sorbo.
It was 2-0 down.
We was 2-0 down. We got 2 late goals. We went. I made up a formation.
So we come on here. Change the game.
We just went like 4 or 5 up top and.
Is that when I scored?
No. Turvey scored.
Topsy got 2 late goals, but we didn't play well on the day, and we obviously with this game as our next game, there were some big decisions in the week, and lots of phone calls and lots of going backwards and forth. Are we going to make the right decision or not? And we had to make some big decisions, but we went with a bit more pace up front. So we went with Ibe's 9 rather than Ibe out wide.
Was the wingers playing just behind him?
Wingers was come back into midfield, and we had Connor and Jack Mitchell out wide.
I think that front three there is
that 2 direct wingers and you've got a goal scorer in the middle.
Yeah. So what are you thinking at this moment? 3-3.
Yeah, look, we bossed the first half, and you get the goal at the end and 3-2, but it didn't really do the performance justice at half time. And then, I'm not convinced that there was a lot of contact, but he's gone to ground, so he's made it easy for the ref. Although the conditions were very, very wet. But so look, it's game on. It's game on. You got to be cool and calm, lively crowd, and but we were playing well. We were playing very well that day.
So you're still positive at this stage?
I was still relaxed, because at 3-3, you all you can ask for is for your team to go out and play well. And if you don't get the luck on the day, that's just the way football goes at times.
I think games like that sort of define your season. Going, being up and down, getting dragged back into
roller coaster.
Have you still got quality? Have you still got fight? Have you still got players that are going to win
the 2 games there proved why we were where we were at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So a little bit of pressure at 3-3, but we remained, calm. The group didn't buckle, and scored 2 great goals.
Because you find a lot of teams that sometimes this happens to, and it's not their fault. For example, the refs poor decisions or whatever, and you can sort of beat yourself up or give yourself excuses. It's not our day. Refs, but
especially when it goes 2-2 from 2-0 up as well.
Yeah. So I think we've shown 2 great games, and it shows why the 2 teams were top of the table and how they had resilience, quality players, hard work and determination. So testament to Stansted and Hullbridge. Let's go on to the next bit.
Yeah, so now we're going to go into goal of the season. We've got 15 goals for you, and we're going to narrow it down to 4, and it's going to be your decision at home, which is the best.
It would be stoppage time when goal number 6 was added, and it was a beauty if a tad unconventional. Hornsley appeared to have overhit his cross, but Martin stayed alert as Enfield defenders went to sleep, nodding the ball back into play before curling a delightful strike into the top corner to put a cherry on top for Hullbridge Sports. A commanding victory for the home side, one that ensures they maintain their position on top of the Essex Senior League with 6 wins from their opening 8 games. When the next goal did come, it would be a contender for goal of the season. Takeley's Bryn Thorpe won the ball from the goal kick and laid it off, continuing his run forward, the headed clearance falling perfectly into his path to hammer the ball into the far corner from at least 30 yards out. Leighton Athletic may have felt they deserved better than to be 2-0 down, but can have few complaints about conceding to a strike of that quality.
Martin's volley. Just the technique and the composure and the shape he gets on it, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great goal.
Pitts?
I'll go with the Saffron Manor forward
Going to cuts in left
Cuts in
foot.
because it's, he nuts us in to start with, and then comes in and puts it top bins. But again, that's not just all. Some of those shots, that's a goal every 10 years, isn't it? You know, but that guy there's done it. Yeah.
For me, St Margaret's we go. I'm a lover of good football. Just 1 or 2 touch in any senior doesn't happen too often. But
at this level,
one touch all the way through.
Yeah,
1 or 2 touch max.
Good team goal.
Yeah, so I'm going St Margaret's we go.
Me, I'm going to go for obviously Jack Mitchell's goal.
Jack
For
Mitchell.
me, that's my best moment, obviously, since we've been in the show. One of the funnest is when we keep what defenders just laying it like that.
Sits and wins goal.
And then, for me, that's.
Yeah, we voted that he got goal of the season yesterday
For that.
for that goal. We scored a lot of good goals, but at 3-3, 20 minutes
It's
to
the
go.
composure.
The composure.
Big game.
Yeah, it was.
Big crowd.
Conditions.
Yeah, and the conditions were terrible, and they still probably had 300 watching. Or 250, 270, whatever. But it was a good crowd, and it was a good win and a good moment for us.
That's it for the goals of the season.
Top 4 goals.
We've got top 4 goals on Twitter and Instagram. You can vote to who you think is has the best goal this season.
Okay, so we've got some controversial things that have happened on Twitter lately. Certain managers have been going backwards and forwards. What is your views on players signing before the forms are even out and announcing it on Twitter?
Oh, so wait, let me just clear this up. In the Essex Senior, there's no forms out until when?
July.
Yeah, it's like early July. And it's normally after like the AGM or after the league meeting, they give them all that.
So wait, I never knew this. So
It's
managers
May,
that
innit,
are, so managers that are saying, happy to sign so and so, what are they signing?
They've
Unless they've
signed
signed a
it.
contract, they've signed nothing.
Really?
So all it is
An agreement.
a gentleman's agreement.
A handshake.
That you're saying, I will sign for you.
But then if I come and offer you an extra 50 quid, where are you going to go?
Exactly, yeah.
Wow, I never knew that.
So he's one of
So
them.
what do you guys think of this? Do you think this is acceptable? I don't.
It's ridiculous, to be honest.
It works both ways, doesn't it?
Season-
I like to keep under the radar with signings, and then you get into pre-season, because also you got higher teams. Oh, he signed. I didn't know he signed in, and then go and have a
Go and have a little
go
poach.
and have a little poach. You know.
No, see,
but
we like to
let's
announce
offer him
them
extra tenner.
because we do a lot of Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's good.
So we like to announce them, but I would never announce anyone who's
Before,
not
until they've
actually
signed
signed the
the
form, because you don't know what's going on. Players can,
That's the bare minimum.
this time of year,
Side.
this time of year, like me and Pitts were saying, this time of year, players hold all the cards around May time.
Yeah.
When it starts coming to June and July, that's when we become back in control again. Because you get a lot of better value for money. And you get better players dropping down because they think they're going on trial here, there and everywhere. So it's just one of them situations where if you're announcing them, fair enough, you've got a gentleman's agreement, that's fair enough. But if they sign a contract, they're not tied to you yet, so it doesn't matter. But
What's Hullbridge and Paul saying, hey, don't be saying.
oh, we're not rushing nothing. We're steady. But then again, even if you have signed registration form, it's only a 7-day request to get you out of it, so it's not.
It's not a proper contract.
No, it's
contract,
not. It's one of them sticky subjects, isn't it?
I think an announcement after you've
Actually signed the contract.
and done a bit of pre-season as well.
Yeah,
You know, get a feel for each other.
Indirect.
You
I don't know
know?
if you like the player yet already, so you sign him on the back of a name, and then you might not like him the way he plays and things like that.
But then I get why people do announce it, because if they're announcing that certain players joined, with certain
attract
qualities,
yeah.
it could attract other players.
Yeah.
So there's pros and cons to
Yeah.
it all, but at the end of the
Unless
day,
you're announcing every single player you've signed.
but they've not actually signed anything. If you, I think for me, it's how you word it. If you say, we've agreed
Agreement
to sign this player subject to registration form, something like that, it's a bit different to saying he's signed.
There you go, there you have it. So do you think it is acceptable to put out on social media that you have signed a player and they actually have not signed? And lastly, the big debate, who do you think had the better season? So Pitsy's argument is
Double winning, second place, 2 trophies.
2 trophies, second place,
Going for the treble.
going
all
for the
season.
treble. And then Hullbridge is cases they got promoted.
Just won the league.
Won the
Just
league.
won the league.
Just won it.
League table never lies.
Not in the league no more.
Not in the league no more.
Yeah, the league no more.
So we'll put that on Twitter as well. Get the vote in. We see who everyone thinks has the better achievements and what team do you actually think is better. Because I'm interested to really know. So wait, head to head, what was the scores?
Oh,
In the league, we didn't lose. We drew 1-1.
Drew 1-1.
They beat us in the cup.
we lost 2-1 to a Walden, didn't we?
Yeah.
Early at the start of the season.
So
And you beat them in the cup.
We drew 0-0 right at the end of the season, which was really tense.
So it's all
Tense
level.
affair.
It's all level.
And then we won 3-0
In the reserves.
when we played the reserve team as well. But
I think you had reserves.
Pardon?
I think you had reserves.
We had a big strike.
So it's level on that sort of.
3 games, 3
Yeah.
different scores.
I think everyone knows deep down who won. And I'm not going to say who. But no, it's been a pleasure having both of you.
That's been good.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, we hope that next season both teams go on and do
If you do plastic football next year, I'll come back if you want.
plastic football. Plastic football.
Yeah, if we do that, we'll see when hopefully Stansted win the league next year. We'll be back again. Win another cup.
So what? Just lastly, what's your ambitions for both teams going forward?
For me, I just want to establish Hullbridge in the Bostic.
Just keep him there.
Yeah, it's not a case of just staying up. I want to give it a good go.
No,
I want to give it a real good go. And I've got a lot of belief in the players that we've got and stuff that we can give it a good go. But we're also realistic. There are some top players, big clubs, a lot of money in that league, and we know we won't be able to compete on that front. So no, I just want to establish them in the Bostic and where they deserve to be as a club.
And Pitts, for you last season, you sort of went into the SSC and just like, we want to do well, top 10, no pressure. But this season, everyone knows and sees what sort of team you have. So, what sort of aspirations and
We just,
going forward?
on and off the pitch, we keep looking, we're looking to improve the ground. Committed to, touching up the ground and making it, better facilities for the players. We've doubled the attendance from last season to this season. Can we get a few more through the gate? Well, if you're winning games of football, that attracts more spectators, obviously. The clubhouse has, taken, a lot of money behind the bar. We've had big crowds, and we'll try and keep winning more than we lose.
So, are you planning to win the league? That is it for Edge of the Box
This season.
this season. I think we're going to have some things coming in pre-season, so look out for it. Also, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and let us know who you want to
Get voting.
let us know who you want us to be on the show next. We are happy for anyone to come on. Well, not anyone.
No.
Not anyone.
Come on the sofa, sit down, have a few biscuits.
Have a few
The
biscuits.
biscuits are on point. Get in for the biscuits.
There you go. See, you have to come on the end of the box with biscuits.
Can't go wrong. Over and out.